Hello, you guys. So, today I'm gonna talk about the university interview questions, like how they're gonna ask you, in what format, and how many questions they ask you in one questions, and how to answer and tackle them. So, these are the questions that were asked me during my interview at the PPP. So, so in every interview, it depends upon the interviewer how he asks you different questions. So during my interview, I was interviewed by the interviewer called MR. He is very serious, aggressive person. He asks you very seriously and taunt you and cross questions your every answer. He would like tease you in a way. So you don't have to be very worried. You have to just focus on how many questions he asks you in just one question. Like first of all, he would ask you your student name, application number. I have already told you, like, it depends upon the interviewer. Some of them don't ask you your name or student application number. They would just ask you your date of birth and nationality and your full course name. This is just the introduction. So they would rapidly ask you the first question. And if you notice here, this is the first question and it contains three questions in it. So the first question is, have you been to the UK before? When and for how long? Why did you come to the UK? So you have to straightforwardly answer no. Don't put anything irrelevant. Just say no. The second question is, why do you want to study in the UK instead of studying in your home country or any other country? So you have to make your answers in a way that you don't have to insult your country or any other country, but you have to put valid points that supports your documents that you have provided. I mean, you have to uh, mention the research facilities. If you don't have any research facilities or any other facilities that are provided in UK better than your country or any other country, like other countries or like other English speaking countries, you can compare UK with like Canada, Australia, or UK. So the third question is, what program are you planning to study at PPP? Why did you choose this program? Can you tell me about the course structure and modules? Again, you have to be careful answering your question. The question is, what program are you planning to study? You have to mention your course name here, okay? Then why did you choose this program? Why you didn't choose any other program? Like I am doing the masters in accounting and finance. Why I did choose masters? Why I didn't choose the BS honors in accounting and finance? So you have to tell them the valid points why you choose this program. Maybe it relates to your previous course, previous degrees, and things like that. At the end, you have to tell them the course structure, modules, like which subjects are you studying in one module, second, third, and then your uh, credit hours if they are mentioned at the university website. So the fourth question is, what was your last qualification? Where have you worked since you finished your qualification? If yes, where and for how long? So here you have to tell them about your background, like which degrees have you studied before, and you can mention your university or college name. And if you have worked, then tell them according to the documents that you have provided to the university. Like if you have worked, then you should have provided the work certificate, like at a different like companies or anything, anywhere you have worked. So you should mention them here. And if you have not worked, or you don't have any gap here, you should say straightforward that I have not worked, I am just like student. So you have to like relate your documents and your previous gap year or anything like that. So the next question is, which other universities have you researched in the UK? Do they offer the same course as BPP? Why did you choose to study at PPP above these universities? So here you have to mold and structure your answer in a way that is sportive, firstly to the UK, secondly to the other universities, thirdly the main reason that you have chosen university, the specific university. So you don't have to compare their fees. Okay, first of all, this is the tip: don't compare the fees, don't compare the location, just mention the core modules that you are interested and that you are not interested, that are provided by the other universities. Your previous your previous studies that are linked to this course rather than other universities. You have to be very specific what you want from this course and what is provided and what is not provided in the other universities. So be very careful, be very specific. This is very important question. They can pass or fail you. So the next question is, what do you want to do after finishing your course at PPP? What are your future plans and careers aspiration? So there are two main questions asked in just one question. Firstly, he's asking, what do you want to do after finishing your course at PPP? So you have to be very specific. The interviewer always likes to hear that you will not stay at the UK. After finishing your study, you will come back to your home country. And I think we should provide the thing that interviewer wants to hear, or something that is more relevant and that is more genuine than just saying I will work there. Try to put information that is relevant. Like if you really want to study there, like after finishing your course, you should mention that. Don't mention that you will just work there. So what are your future plans and career aspiration is the second part. So here you should say, like if you like your studies like professional study like mine, so I would rather pursue my career in my home country. I would go back to my home country and pursue my careers. You should mention your careers that you can pursue in your country or internationally anywhere, but just don't mention that you will stay in the UK, take the work permit for 2 years and would work in UK. Don't mention like that. Just mention in a way that is more uh, like genuine. So the next question is, are you being sponsored? Who is funding your studies? And what is your parents' income or salary? So here you know better than any person like who is funding your studies. What is your background? What is your family income? So you should mention enough funds here and mention enough sources that would pursue your interviewer that you can afford to study in UK. You would live there without working or being in a worry that how you're going to fund your studies. Don't ever mention that you will work there while you're studying. So this is the pro tip here. Don't mention anything that discredits your study image, and you should mention that you have enough funds to study in the UK. So the next question is, how much do you need to live in the UK? Course fee, living expenses, etc. So you know better, like where are you going. If you're going to London, it's very expensive. You should know the high, like expensive, how much expensive is the UK, living in the London. And if you're living in outside the London, you should mention how you gonna spend your money, how is your living cost. You should mention in a way like your accommodation rent, your food, your internet, your entertainment, your laundry, your traveling and other expenses like miscellaneous expenses. So I would make another video that I will write about Manchester, because I am going to Manchester, so I would write about the Manchester expenses. So you can ask these questions according to your city to your agent or search about it on the internet. So the next question is, do you have any dependents? Are you coming to the UK alone or do you have family? So the recommended answer here is that, like, most of us are going England to study alone. So if you're going with family, you should mention you should have enough funds. You should mention that you have enough funds to support your family while living and doing nothing there, just studying. You should not mention that I will go with my family and I will work there while study. You should not mention these kind of things. But if you have any valid point, and if you have really real family who is living there, who would support you and your family, you should mention in a very possessive way. And you can pursue your uh, like interviewer that you are living and you're gonna go with your family and you have enough support while you study there. You don't have to worry about your children, or your wife, or yourself. And you should have enough funds there to live. So the last question is, where will you live in the UK? Where is your course space, commute? How long are you planning to work in the UK while you study? So the simple answer to this question is, where will you live in the UK? Just mention the name of the city you are going to live in. What is your course space? Just mention the address of your university campus. Like if you're studying in the Manchester campus, just you should know the full address of the building. So just mention here the building's address and with the city name. So before moving to England, just make sure that you have booked your accommodation, or at least you know an address of an accommodation that is bookable. You should mention that you would book an accommodation, or if that is a university accommodation, like if your university is providing accommodation, you would say that I will book an accommodation at the university. Make sure everything that you mention here is really true, genuinely confirmable. So they will confirm you during your interview. While you talk, they will open the sites and will check if the accommodation there is available for the students to book, and if you are not bluffing. So make sure that you have booked, or at least you know like accommodation that is bookable and confirmable, that is like available for booking. So are you planning to work in the study? I have mentioned enough that don't mention like you will work while you study. Although it's allowable for a student to work at least 20 hours a week, but don't mention, just mention that you have enough funds that you will support while you live there in UK. So that is all for today. I would make sure that I will write every answer for these questions, and I would add more questions that the other universities ask during their interview. And I hope this video is informative and you have learned something. Just comment and tell me what you want to know and where you need more clarification, and I would make sure that I will answer every comment here. So it's a bye. See you in the next video.